What's up, Elevate Leaders? I'd like to share with you something today that's actually helped me tremendously as I've led groups over the years. If you watched our last video, we talked about how one of our goals as small group leaders is to be the best question answers, not necessarily the best answer givers. So today we're going to dig a little bit deeper into how do you effectively be the best question askers. You must understand how to start light and go deeper. Start light and go deeper. Imagine you're a 15-year-old boy who's showing up to Elevate. Maybe it's your first time at Elevate and you walk in and you go to the group and the leader looks right at you in the eyes and says, I need you to open our group in prayer. And then after you're done with that, you're going to start off sharing your biggest sexual temptation that you faced this week. Now, if that were you, you'd probably run out of the room screaming and never come back. Now, we like to get to that level in our groups where kids can share honest answers to questions like that, but we've got to remember you don't start there. You've got to start light and then go deeper. You see, starting light and going deeper doesn't mean that we don't get to the deeper issues. It just means that we take our time getting there, because if you just jump straight into it, it's just not a good thing. We want to go deeper and we want to get deeper, but we've got to remember to start light. So you don't want to start with like, Kyle, give me the reasons, the pros and cons for the cosmological argument for the existence of God. That's not a good first question. It's too deep, it's too intellectual, it's too whatever. Now, the questions that we give you are generally already set up this way to start light and go deeper, but as you begin to customize these questions for your specific group, I want you to keep this in the front of your mind, because as you do this, starting light and going deeper, I believe it's going to help you to have way better discussions with your group. Here's a couple thoughts on how you could start to kickstart your conversation. Is hey, we're gonna go around the circle. We're gonna have everybody share their name and answer this simple question. And you're giving them a simple question like, hey, what's your favorite kind of Slurpee? Hey, what's your favorite band? If you had a birthday coming up, what would you ask for your birthday? Hey, what if I told you that I was a billionaire and I was gonna buy you a car? What car would you want? Things like that that are easy, that are simple, that they don't have a right or wrong answer. They're just kind of giving their opinions. That's a win for two reasons. First, everybody in the group has answered a question. They've actually opened their mouth and shared an answer. And second, this is a question that you cannot get wrong. Now, if you do this, it's going to have huge dividends later in the group when you ask kids to actually get more personal and open up, because they've already answered a question, which is a barrier. Some kids are afraid to even talk, and if you can get them to talk, and then when they talk, if they got the answer right, that gives them more courage to be honest and answer questions later on in your group when you're actually getting deeper. So let's say the topic of your group is what it takes to be a good friend. Here's an example of like an order of questions that you might ask in that group. Number one, as we get started, everybody take a minute and share your name and your favorite place to go with friends. Number two, can you share a quick story about a good memory you had with a friend? Number three, what are the qualities you admire in your friends? Number four, which of these qualities do you need to work on to be a better friend? Number five, now let's read John 15:12-17 and learn about the ultimate friend. Now notice in that series of questions it started light, then it got progressively deeper and more personal. And that is a formula that I believe if you can generally flow your questions like that, you're going to be more successful and more effective in getting kids to actually go deep and actually open up. Do this. If you'll do this, what's going to happen is pretty quickly your students are going to begin to go deeper. They're going to begin to open up and be honest and be real. And as they're being real and being honest, it's going to allow a chance for God to work in their lives in significant ways through your group, which is awesome when He does that. That's what we're hoping for. And so here's my challenge as you lead your group this week and every group after that. Start light and then go deeper. Oh, also, and remember, what you're doing as an Elevate leader, it matters. It matters for eternity. So keep up the great work. Thanks for doing what you do. Love ya. Peace.